we will start at top of the hour. Till then, making characters for you. Okay. All right. So this edition of the game, now I can't remember when you were talking about this. Have you played this edition before?
I played when I was 17 years old, and I'm encroaching on 50, honey.
Yeah. Well,
So,
okay.
It's been a while.
Yeah, you're still a youngin'. So
most games I log in on, I'm like grandma at this point in time to some of these kids. I'm like, oh God, I feel so old.
Oh, we do have some young players. I think Amira is in college.
So, it's okay.
We have some younger players, but most people gravitate to this edition. Are like, oh yeah, I remember these days. Okay, so just to refresh your memory, there are 7 classes available.
Okay.
There is a cleric, a fighter, a magic user, a thief, a dwarf, an elf, and a halfling. Right now, we have a fighter, a magic user, and a halfling. So, while there is definitely no crime against doubling up, there are some holes available that, we don't have a character in. Now, a reminder, in this edition of the game, clerics at level 1 are glorified fighters with some ability against undead. They do not pick up clerical spells until 2nd level. That is one of the oddities of this particular edition of the game. So a 1st level cleric is not a spellcaster, but does have the turn undead feature. Pardon me, I had to sneeze there. I think I got it muted in time, but so do any of those classes strike your fancy? Gooney? Are you hearing me? Okay. Okay. So it looks like Gooney is going to have to reboot. Alright. In that case, I'm going to mute myself.
Okay, that was bizarre. What?
And she's back.
Yeah. That was bizarre. It's like, I thought it was something that happened to you this time around. Because sometimes we
Yeah,
out.
occasionally my ISP will just decide, oh, let's refresh the modem or the router.
Okay, so I got to the point where you were saying it's not a crime to double up, but
okay, but we do have some openings available where there's classes that are not represented in the party, and the only other thing I mentioned is that in this edition, clerics gain their turn undead feature at first level, but they don't get their first clerical spell until level 2. So
okay, so what do we have outstanding yet?
Okay, you have active in the party. We have a halfling, we have a fighter, and we have a magic user or a witch. Actually.
Thank you.
So we do not have a cleric, we do not have a thief, we do not have a dwarf, and we do not have an elf.
Ooh, I'll do thief.
Okay. Thief. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this. I am going to duplicate, save. Now it's DnD, so the way so the way that this is played is that obviously there's a there you are, and in your journal, there you are. Okay, save. All right, so in your journal, you should now have a character called Copy of Thief.
Yes.
And I think you should be able to edit it. They in all editions of D&D, actually it's not entirely true, but I play it like it's true in all editions. Gender doesn't make a difference in terms of stats. There was a time there where they said that female NPCs had higher charisma, starting charisma, and male NPCs had higher strength, and that kind of stuff. And they eventually realized that's a bunch of nonsense. So they're all the same. So you can name it anything you want. You can play it any gender you want. If this character lasts and you want to kind of customize its own, you can have a portrait. My thinking is that when we finish this adventure, if people in the game are like, hey, I really like this rule set, let's do a whole campaign, then we will go ahead and we will allow everybody to create custom characters from the ground up. And do kind of like I did in my Thursday night game and say, okay, if there's like a legacy item or something like that you want to pass down from your Lost Mind character, your character can inherit that somehow and just build that into part of your story.
Okay.
How that happened. That's why I changed the location a little bit and put it in a different universe, or put it in a different world than on Faerun, so that there would be that potential for continuity.
Okay.
So is it going to allow you to edit things like the name? And all
yes,
that kind of...
I'm already
good.
Working on it.
Good. Wonderful. Now, I am going to look in here and see. Okay, it looks like the saving throws are all set for you. Obviously, the skills are all set for you. The abilities are all set for you. Skills, we will need to figure out what you want for skills.
Okay.
I think the class abilities, yes, they're all done for you. okay, you have an inventory, but I haven't assigned the combat things for that. So, that's because I didn't pick out the weapons for you. It's something that you will have to pick out. If you go to the inventory tab, you'll see you get to choose for your ranged weapon either a short bow or a whip, which has a range of up to 10 feet. Then you get to choose a dagger or a blackjack. And then you get to roll a 1d6, multiply it by 10. That's your starting money, and you can buy other things that would be legal for a thief. But you do have a full inventory, and the way inventory on these character sheets work is you'll notice there's inventory locations kind of over on the right, and they're listed 1 through 7. Then down at the bottom, there's a 1 through 7 tabs, and that corresponds to those. So 1 is things you're wearing, 2 is stuff you're carrying, 3 is in your backpack, 4 is in your belt pouch, etc., etc., etc.
Now, carried would be something like you're carrying your weapons, or...
I don't think I have anything under carried right now. So, worn is stuff like your armor. You're wearing your backpack,
okay,
that kind of stuff. Carried would be anything you have in your hands. And it's more. That's just all part of the default character sheet. I didn't add any of that stuff in terms of I didn't add those locations or anything. Those are just created there. And I figure that, okay, that's for the people that really want, well, where would my torches be? Would I keep them in my backpack, or would I have a special bandolier that I would put torches on? Just like that kind of stuff. So, some players want to figure all that stuff out. If you do, then go for it.
Okay. All right. So I still need to pick my weapons, figure out my goal, carrying money, go from there.
Yeah, and if you think, well, I only get for weapons by default, I only get a short bow, or a whip, and a dagger or a blackjack. Now, a blackjack in this game, blackjacks don't exist in later editions of D&D, but it does 1d2 damage, and on every hit, it has a chance to knock out your opponent. So it's a weapon that is designed to be a non-lethal. Knock them out so I can loot them and move on, and they wake up an hour later and they have no idea what happened.
Okay.
So, which depending on how you want to play your thief, that can be a really cool thing to have. Is that you just go around knocking people out. So you could say, well, I really want like a short sword, or I really want some other kind of weapon. So use your weapon or use your money to buy that.
Okay.
So
okay.
Do you have a preference with the ranged weapon? Would you prefer the short bow or the whip?
Short bow, please. Yeah.
Short bow. Okay, so I'm going to go to the combat, and under the ranged weapon, I'm going to do short bow, and then I'm going to do there's 3 entries for these for ranged weapons. Then that's gonna be short bow, and short bow, 0, and the range is 100, and then The reason for this is that when you fire at short range, you get a +1 on your attack. At medium range, it's a flat roll. And at long range, it's a -1 on the attack. That's how they did things with range in this edition of the game.
Okay.
As opposed to having 2 ranges in 5e where it's just flat roll and then disadvantage at long range. Okay, so going back to inventory, a short bow with arrows. And then, do you want a dagger or a blackjack for your melee weapon?
Actually, I'll take a blackjack, but I may pick up a dagger with my funds. So.
Okay, so we'll do.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll for my cash right now. So.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh. That's a bad roll.
Oh no, what'd you get? A 1?
Yep.
Well, things are pretty cheap in this edition. So let's take a look here. I need to go to equipment anyway. Blackjack. Okay, so you gotta check. Okay, so yes. You can basically, when you hit somebody with a blackjack, just remind me I have to roll for special effects, which is knockout, stun, or delay. And that depends on how many hit dice the enemy has. Alright, so 10 gold pieces. Alright, so let's go to your okay, combat, inventory. Aha, gold pieces 10. Alright, so what can you buy for 10 gold pieces? Actually, it'd probably be easier if you, because most of the stuff that is, most of the common stuff is in this edition. If you want something super exotic, you may not find it, but if you tell me what you're looking for, I can tell you whether you can afford it with 10 gold or not.
I was just basically looking for a dagger.
A dagger. A normal dagger is 3 gold.
Okay.
So yes, you can afford it. Now, a dagger can be used melee or thrown. So I'm going to open it to combat. I'm going to add dagger here. Dagger is 1d4. And then on your combat tab of your character sheet, if you look all the way to the right, there's a little column called attack and like a little faint little die there. You click that little die button, that'll roll the attack and it'll calculate for you what armor class you hit. So it's really kind of neat.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna. What page am I on right now? I'm so sorry.
Well,
okay.
You may be on the combat page because I'm working on that right now. So, if you look at the right-hand column under missile weapons and then, or melee weapons and then under missile weapons where it says attack there, that's
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and it's the same thing with throwing a dagger as it is with using your short bow.
Okay.
But it's 1d4, and the range on these is 10, 20, 30. So 10, and then add, whoops, dagger, medium, 0, 1d4, there's 20, and then add dagger, long. Oh, hey everybody. I know that we are at starting time, but we have a new player joining us, and we're just doing the finishing touches on her character. So
Bye.
we are going to do that, and we're going to let her introduce herself as a player to people, and then we will go ahead and get started. All right, so we have that. We had that. So now, after buying that mighty dagger, you are down to 7 gold pieces.
Aye, no wonder I became a thief.
Yeah, don't spend them all in one place. Okay, so now we have to come up with a little bit of a reason for you to be here. Okay, I think I am done playing with your character, so you can go ahead and finish doing things like changing the name and all the good stuff and whatnot, and I will keep moving the tabs around on you. Yeah, because I know that's annoying. But I am going to say that you were in this town and you were told that there were some people over at the Sleeping Giant that might have some work for you.
Okay.
You went to the Sleeping Giant and you ran into Grista, who is the meanest old cuss of a dwarf that you ever have met. She's a dwarf lady that runs the Sleeping Giant, and she just rubbed you the wrong way from the word go. And so you were having a bit of a heated argument with her when a couple of guys in red cloaks walked in, and Grista said, "Hey, this scum walked in the bar. I don't much like her," or him, however you were planning to play your character.
Her.
And, okay, her. "I don't much like her." And they said, "Oh, well, we can take care of that." And before you knew it, a sack went over your head and something heavy hit you in the back of the head, and the world went black.
Oh, dear.
And you woke up sometime later in a dungeon.
Okay.
And you now find yourself, let me go to the journal. Let's see. So, okay, I'm gonna take the token now. I'm gonna put it in here, and then we will have to. I'll just have to rename the token whenever you get. Whenever you get a. And actually, it might do that for you, because when you finally get it renamed, I'm linking the token to the character sheet, so it might update the name of the token. I need to double check. Sorry, I'm going to change the tab once again.
Nope, you're fine.
You have 5 hit points, and you have an armor class of 5. So, alright. So that's 5 hit points, and the armor class is 5. You woke up in a dungeon, and you are a prisoner. There is a woman in the cell with you, who is a commoner, and there is another cell kind of across this little foyer, if you will. And speaking of foyer, I might as well just go ahead and show you this area where you are. Rest of the players can just close their eyes because they're not supposed to see this, but it's actually fine if they do because it's not going to be much longer. You are here. This woman named Nars is with you.
Okay.
There's other prisoners, Nelsa and Myrna, across the way. And there are these 2 guards that are in there. Or at least they were in there until a few moments ago. Because all snot broke loose. And they went running out this door. And you have not seen them since.
They've been gone for what? 30 seconds, a minute, couple minutes?
Probably 30 seconds at this point.
Okay.
So, yeah. They just are gone. And there's neither hide nor hair of them. So that is how you wound up being here.
Okay.
You will take your actions on the party's turn every round of combat, and as we get to each round, you can, look at the skills that you have, which are the class skills that you have, which there's some of those things, and probably at the break we will go ahead and fill out the skills where it says you have 3 skill slots but nothing is filled in. There is a whole list of skills for this edition, just like there is for 5th edition, and but in this game you get to just like pick from the list of what you want, and of course you are better at some because of the underlying ability score that it's tied to than others, but there's a few that most people have taken for obvious reasons. If you've watched the last couple of sessions, which I think you have, so you kind of know some of the skills that they've taken and kind of why. But before we get back to the next round of combat, I am going to stop the music. I am going to introduce us, and I am going to allow our new player to introduce herself to the rest of the players. Hello, and welcome, everybody. Thank you for putting up with my little rambling as we have been helping our new player get her character finished. We are at session 11 of the Lost Mine of original D&D. The last time that we were here, you may recall that the party was in a bit of a fracas. They had managed to pull the dungeon, basically, and they were fighting with just about everybody that is in here. Things seemed to be under control until the invisible wizard became visible and cast Hold Person. And once he cast Hold Person, our heroes, Tomas and Amy and Theolis, and their NPC companion, Sildar, all found themselves frozen by the effects of an original edition hold person spell, which will keep them held for 90 minutes. And the only save for it is for the reverse of hold person to be cast, or just for time to run out. So, they are basically out of commission for the next 90 minutes. Because of that, in the intervening week, I have gone in and I have now bloated the journals of all the players by giving all the players control of the NPCs. So the players can control Baker and Albon, Ripper and Clark, and the 3 goblins. So when it comes time, and I think if Mustard isn't in there, I'll need to add Mustard as well. But these guys are basically when it's the party's turn, you guys can decide amongst yourselves who is going to act for each of the NPCs, since your characters are sort of out of commission. And I've just put those handy net icons on there. Now, you are not bolted to the floor. The NPCs can move you if they wish. So if somebody wants to grab Theolis and throw him out of the way of the door, that is permissible. With the permission of the player, but nothing is preventing that from happening. So you guys can decide to do that if you wish. Now, as you all have heard while you trickled in, we have a new player tonight. We have Gooney. She plays in our Sunday night or Sunday afternoon campaign, and she has been a viewer on the stream for this game for a bit. Gooney, please tell. I guess we probably don't have Shaun tonight. He may still be out with holiday stuff, but go ahead and let Amira and Travis know a little bit about you and the viewers as well.
About my character, about me.
About you as a player.
Okay.
You as a player. They will meet your character in time.
Okay.
Hopefully. Yeah, they will meet it, but whether it's these characters that meet it or other characters that meet it, that's what yet.
That's cool. So I've been role playing since I was about 17, which I was the token female, I guess, player. But the guys that I was in the group with were just like beside themselves. They were so happy that I was playing with them. I've played on and off any number of role-playing games since, I would say since my college days, and with a few breaks here and there just due to lack of people to play with or, life in general. So yeah, I enjoy the action adventures more than kind of the mysterious spy games and stuff, but that's just me. So, been around for a while.
All right. And why don't we, since Shaun is not here, why don't we go ahead and let Amira and Travis reintroduce themselves for the people that have been viewing for a while and for our new player. So, Amira, ladies first, tell us a little bit about the player behind Empress Amy.
Well, all I want to do is rule the world, but since that's illegal in real life for some unknown reason.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
Yes, you see, that's the song from our generation, Amira.
Yes.
The tears from.
How old do you guys think I am?
Well, you're in college, so I'm presuming you're traditional college age.
I could be your mother, honey. Let's just put it that way.
I want to ask. But I have heard the song before because I did watch the shows with my mom because she said I had to know them or I couldn't be her kid anymore.
Oh, okay. All right.
Your mother's awesome.
Yes. Okay. And then Travis, tell us a little bit about yourself.
It's pretty simple. Just like my profile on Roll20. I'm a little guy at 42 who used to play D&D when I was a young teen. I now have a 8-year-old daughter, so my Saturday nights are pretty timid, and this is my little bit of wild and crazy that I can have.
Okay. All right. Yes. Thursday night, we have a player who is in very much the same circumstance. Actually, 2 of our players have young kids in the house. And so, fun time for them is logging on to Roll20 and rolling some virtual dice with people and letting mom look after the little one for a while. So, all right.
Life is good.
All right. Well, we were in the middle of combat, and so Amy and Travis, do you in your journals, do you see the other NPCs and you can open their character sheets and see what sort of weapons and everything they have and their combat abilities and stuff? The only thing you'll need to do, and I'm not gonna, I gave it to everybody, so Gooney, you guys can work out how you want to do this. If you want to rotate who does what, or if you just want to say, hey, Travis is going to control these guys, and Amy's going to control these guys, and Gooney, you can control these guys, we can do it that way. So it's up to you how we want to do this.
I can't control anyone.
You can't control anyone? Okay.
I can open up like their bio and info. It just shows their photo.
Okay, it doesn't show you a character sheet?
Mm-mm.
Correct.
Oh, crap. Let me make sure I set this correctly. I may have missed something. Fortunately, I kept these. Oh gosh, that's why. Dang it, I did half of it. Okay. Gradually you will start to see them appear for control. Because I put them all in your journal, but I neglected to give you guys control. All right. But I'm doing that now. So, Clark. There's Ripper. And players. Relish.
There we go.
Yeah, so now you're starting to see them show up. Okay. Whoops. And if everything is if everything is done right, which it may not be actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I may need to do one more thing. You may or may not have access to actually control the tokens because the tokens may need to be linked to these sheets. I did not put mustard in, so I need to go here and I need to go to there.
We're gonna run out of condiments sooner or later.
Yeah. Duplicate this guy. I need to change his name to Mustard.
What's mustard in Spanish? We'll just use that.
Yeah, I do not know. All right, so save. All right, so now we have Mustard there. Now, Barker, you token you. Actually, represent Barker. Okay, so Barker and Albon, you should be able to control them. Let me take a look at Ripper. No, Ripper, you cannot control yet. Yet. Where? Come on. Dang it. Where are you? There you are. Now you should be able to control Whipper. Sildar. You should be able to control Sildar. Although, of course, he can't move. Let's see. Mustard. Mustard is there. Clark. We're going to say Clark is there. Relish is now Relish. If none of you have ever run a game in Roll20, it's nice and it's also annoying the way they do this. Splink. Because you can create a character sheet and then you can easily copy character sheets and rename them if you need like an individual named version of like a goblin, let's say. But when you rename the token, it doesn't automatically get associated with that character sheet. You have to manually go and edit the token and associate it with that particular character sheet. So that takes it's like 3 or 4 steps to get things done. It's better than having to do it all from scratch for a new PC, but not a whole lot better. All right. Yeah. So Mustard. Yep. Nope. That okay. Mustard is there. Okay. So we are at the top of the round, and Gooney.
Yes.
As another refresher for this edition of the game, initiative gets rolled every round. And
yes. Okay, I remember.
So I am just going to find. Let's see. Do we have a? Did you settle on a name yet?
Yes,
So I can rename
Mason.
your token. Mason. Okay. That will be Mason Swale. I like that. Okay, so we will add a turn for Mason Swale. And on your combat tab, you should see an initiative.
Right.
I think it's on the combat tab. So go ahead and click that, and that will roll initiative, and that will be the party's initiative.
Okay. Let's see here. Combat and initiative. Boop. 4.
4. Okay. So then I have been using Danish, who was named by one of our viewers. So Danish the Bugbear. He is rolling initiative for the party. So let's see, what did he get? Oh crap, he got a 7. So that means the party or the enemies go first. Oh no, doesn't mean the enemies go first. Oh yes, it does mean. Okay, because Mason got a 4. I don't know why I put a 7 there. Mason got a 4. All right. So the first thing that your enemies need to do is they need to do a morale check. Well, none of them have been knocked down, and their boss is right in the room. So none of them are going to run. They are going to stay and fight. So, oops, and I forgot to do this. I'm going to go here. I get this out for the benefit of the viewers and the players. The order of combat sheet. All right. So then that was the morale check. Then the movement. Well, there's not a whole lot of movement that can happen here because things are pretty clogged up at the moment. Danish is in the way. Nobody else can get in the hall. Blam and Tolag are blocking up the tail end of the hall, so you know where the goblins are. Then I guess the only 2 people left to move are the people that were guarding the prisoners that now are no longer guarding the prisoners. And that is going to be these guys who will disappear into darkness somewhere. And are now gone from... Where did they go? Did they run away? Maybe they ran away. Who knows? Then ranged weapons. All right. Really? That big, huge bugbear in the hall, there's no point in using the ranged weapons. So I don't think we have any of those. Spells. Spells. Glass staff. Hey, Glassy. Let's see. Mr. Glassstaff, what do you have? Well, you have used this. So you don't have that spell available to you anymore. And you've used that. So you have that spell, but it's not advantageous to use it just yet. Magic Missile. Or... Oh, yes, okay. So, he wants to do... Okay, does he have to see? Does he have to see? He doesn't have to see. So, he is just going to... What the hell? He's going to try to make the biggest quite literally the biggest splash he can possibly make. Go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Good enough for government work. All right. Tomas, Amy, Soldar, and Theolis do not need to make saves because they are already petrified. But everybody else, including Danish, that is in this square, well, you don't get a saving throw. We just see how many how many hit dice of creatures he affects because he is casting his sleep spell. Amy, you know how effective that one is. So let's see. It will. It will start with. Okay, Danish is 19 hit points. So it's going to go to the lowest hit point totals first. Which is actually going to be the 3 goblins. But let's figure out the number of hit dice. Where is my character sheet for Mr. Glassstaff? I didn't disclose you, did I? No, I didn't. You went up there. Cast spell. Okay. 10 hit dice worth of creatures. So, goblins, I believe they're very, very, very low on the totem pole in terms of hit dice. Monsters. Monster list. Goblin. Yep, F. Goblin. Okay. 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 Goblin. 1 minus 1. Okay. So, he is asleep. He's asleep. He's asleep. All right. Albon is 1 hit die. So he's asleep. Barker's 1 hit die. So he's asleep. So we're now up to 5. So he has 10 total. Let's see. Mustard is 1 hit die. So he's asleep. What is a wolf? A wolf is. Let's see. Wolf is. Yeah, you actually have to look through a PDF to find the stats for these guys in this edition. It's not just to quickly look it up. You have to either. Wolf. 2 plus 2 hit dice. Ooh. So what did we say we were at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's gonna be 7, 8. Actually, 7, 8, 9. So Clark is not affected. Tomas, Amy, Sildar, and Theolis are also not affected because they are higher hit dice as well. But Clark basically. Okay, so everybody gets a chance. It gets to take turns playing Clark, basically, unless Clark can wake up his companions, because everyone else is asleep. Yeah, Glassstaff is kind of nasty. He doesn't. They're all asleep. Spoink, Dill, Relish. Spoink, Dill, Relish are asleep. Ripper's asleep, and Sildar is held just like the PCs. So Sildar can't do anything. Yeah, you use it all the time, Amy, and this is why you use it on your enemies, because it does this to them.
When do I get this freezing spell? I hate it and I want it.
Oh, when you get there. It's a 3rd level spell. So when you get 3rd level spells, you will get it. Yeah, melee. Danish actually doesn't see any reason to use a melee spell. So what he's going to do is he's just going to bodily force Theolis out of the way, push him over here, and get him out of his way. And since this spell doesn't really have a lingering effect, I'm going to get rid of that box. And hey, guess what? Mason.
Yes.
It is time for the party to act. I'm going to let everyone figure out what they want Clark to do. And while they do that, you can tell me what Mason would like to do. There are no guards. And let me read the description of this area for you, since nobody has seen this area yet.
First question, though, is did they take all of my stuff off me? Lockpicks, etc.
I'm going to say that you managed to hide your lockpicks in your boot.
Okay.
They did not take those. You keep them in your boot, and your weapons are over in a pile in the center of the area.
Yeah, fair.
2 barred areas. Yeah, but you feel, oh yeah, I still got my lock pits, that little pouch that I keep on my ankle for just such a purpose.
Gotcha.
So this long room is partitioned into 3 areas with iron bars walling off the north and south. Filthy straw lines the floor of those cells, and the hinged doors are secured by chains and padlocks. A pair of disheveled human women are held in a cell to the south, while a human boy is confined to the north. Okay, so it's a human boy in the cell with you. The token, they just use 1 token for all.
That's fine.
All are dressed in plain gray tunics and have iron collars fitted around their necks. An iron collar has not been fitted for you, nor have you been issued a gray tunic yet. You just have your street clothes that were under your armor. A heap of discarded clothing, and hey, Mason, the rest of your stuff is carelessly piled against the far wall. So, yeah, what would you like to do?
Well, once I've gotten myself woke up, I'm going to kind of do the pat down like, oh crap, they took her. Oh, hey, wait, I have my lockpicks. So as soon as the guards have run off, and I'm sure that they're not coming immediately back, I will pull out the lockpicks and attempt to open the gate. So
Okay.
I see we're at that lockpicks and not pickpockets. Good God. Open locks. And
yes.
So.
Yes. Now, if you click on that, you will see that it says you need to roll a 15 or lower on a percentile die. And in this edition, they do not envision the players rolling that. They envision the DM rolling that
Gotcha.
and telling the player whether they succeeded or not.
Sounds good.
Guess what?
What?
With a 5 out of 100, first try, the lock falls open, and you can open the lock. And now Nars looks at you, just his eyes are getting wide. Oh, can you set my mom and my sister free? And he points across to the, please, lady.
Well, he motions to the kid, come on. And I don't know how much action I'm allowed. So first,
I'm going to say you can get to your stuff and start putting all of your armor
Okay.
and everything back on, unless you want to go to the. So I'll give you two choices: either go get your stuff or go to the other one and try to pick the lock on the other one.
Since I'm not a heartless bastard, I'll go try to pick the lock on the other one.
Okay, so normally you only get one of these, but because of this weird situation, I'm going to go ahead and roll it again. This one, okay, that one was really easy, and you think, oh man, after a moment, you think, there must have been something wrong with that lock because this one is a little secure. It's going to take a bit more doing. So,
okay.
That's the end of the round for Mason. Now, Amy and Theolis, you guys can choose to do something with Clark. What would you like to have Clark do?
He's gonna control Clark.
Okay. All right. So, Amy, what would you like Clark to do?
Okay, so we agreed that Clark would be fighting and to move you out of the way.
Okay, so you just want him to attack Danish here then?
Yes.
All right. If you have access to his character sheet, you should be able to go to the combat tab, and he's got his Morning Star, so you can go ahead and try to attack with that and see what armor class he hits. Ooh, he hits an armor class -4 for 10 points of damage. Wow.
Yeah, they heard Amira. He is mad.
Wow. Okay, and with that, Danish is bloodied. And Danish kind of yawns a little bit from the sleep and goes to turn around and go, "Hey, boss, what are you?" And then, bam, gets whacked in the head with this Morning Star. He's like, "Ow!" All right. And Glassstaff is like, "Just shut up and kill them." Or just shut up and kill the bugbear. We'll take the rest alive. And Danish is like, "Oh, all right." And that is the end of the round. So we can now go ahead and clear the initiative. All right, Mason, I'm going to give one of the other players a chance
That's
to roll
fine.
initiative this time.
Go for
Amy or Theolis, who wants to do the honors?
I'll let Amy go again. She's on fire.
Okay.
Don't jinx it.
Okay, I'll add a turn for Amy, and then I will go to the bugbear. I will roll initiative for the bugbear. 3, and Amy gets a 4. So hey, the party gets to go first. So I'll put that in descending order. So Amy, what would Clark like to do this round?
If it's not broke, don't fix it. And he attack again. But that's not attack turn yet. He's not moving.
Oh, he's not moving. That's right.
He's not moving yet.
Yeah. Movement, so no movement, no ranged weapons for anybody, no spells. Okay, go ahead and melee. Oh, well, wait a minute. Actually, sorry, Mason, since we are doing that nowadays, movement, and I'll go ahead and consider that putting stuff on is part of movement. So, do you want to wait for melee and make another attack or make another attempt at this lock, or do you want to movement and start getting your stuff together. Because you can now hear faintly somewhere the sounds of combat going on.
Okay. I'm gonna go get my stuff on. I'm just gonna make a motion like I'll be right there. But if I'm not wearing armor, you guys are screwed. So.
And I think Myrna is the mom. Myrna points over to the boy and says, just stay still, son. Just stay still. And looks at Mason and says, yes, please, please help us.
Give a minute. Starts trying to put stuff on. Don't care. I'll get you out. Just let me get my stuff on. Yeah, she's kind of crude.
All right. So that is movement. No ranged weapons, no spells. Melee. So go ahead, Clark. You may try to smite this guy. Ooh, AC 9. Okay. 9 is not quite going to be enough to hit. So that is the end of the PC's round. Okay. The enemies. They don't need to make morale checks because their boss is right there and has given them orders. Movement. Well, Danish thinks he probably shouldn't move because now he's got this ornery bugbear right next to him that needs to be taught a lesson. No ranged weapons. No spells because there's no reason for him to use spells. So we will just have Danish attack Clark. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not what I've hit the wrong button. Ignore that 6. -3 for 9 points of damage. Okay. So that is going to hit. And Clark is now bloodied as well. Okay. So Clark, ouchies! And he says, "You stupid goblin, sleeping!" And then let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of Clark. Okay. That is the end of the round. Because nobody else can do anything. Oh no! Wait a minute. Blam can attack. But Blam is not going to attack. Blam is going to just. They're just going to wait for the boss to tell them what to do. Because anything they do would risk waking up the sleeping goblins, and sleeping goblins are fine until the boss gives you more direct orders. So they're just going to guard the path there. All right. So the round is over. So we'll do this, and then Travis. Go ahead and roll initiative for the party, and we will let Danish roll for the 7. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Combat initiative
2. Okay. Theolis add a turn 2. All right. So the enemies get to go. Morale, movement, range weapons, spells, melee. Okay, we're going to try this again. AC 11, he misses. He's like, "Quit moving!" he yells to Clark. "So I can smash you." And Clark sticks out his tongue at him. All right. We are back to the party. Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do any movement? We'll say that you've got your stuff on now.
Okay.
I'm wanting to get more people involved in the combat, so I'm just hurrying up things here.
Nope, that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and try one more time with the lockpicks.
Okay. All right. So let's go here. Let's go here. Oh no, this lock is stubborn.
Okay.
So that won't do it. All right. And Amira, what is Clark going to do this round?
I don't think Clark has any other weapons.
No, he pretty much is a one-trick pony. Is unless he has people that he can command, but everybody is out of it except for him right now. AC 10. Ugh. Okay, that's not gonna hit. All right. That ends the round. Mason, I'm going to go back to you. I'm going to give you a turn. I'm going to let you roll initiative for the party.
Okay.
And we will then roll with Danish for initiative. Gosh, he's just on fire. So the party gets to, or the enemies get to go again. The glass staff says to Danish, "Will you hurry up and finish him?" And then he looks over at Core, and he says, "If he cannot get rid of that blasted bugbear, then I want you to get rid of Danish." And Core's eyes get big, and Danish's eyes get big, and yeah, so that's the ultimatum given there. And otherwise, no movement, no spells, no ranged weapons. So Danish will just try to club Clark on the head again. AC 12, he misses. Okay. Party, you are up. Mason, do you want to move?
Crap. What's it sound like down the hallway?
There are echoing sounds. There's a couple of closed doors between you and them, but you can hear the echoing sounds of combat. Bestial roars.
Okay.
Sound like some monsters fighting.
Okay. Well, since I don't know that there's other adventurers out there, and all I know is that something else is going on, while there is distraction, I'm going to continue to keep working to try to get them free.
Okay. All right.
I might actually turn to the kid first and motion to him to come closer to try to pick the lock on his collar.
Okay, he will come over, and if you try to pick the lock on his, he'll say, "Oh, please get my mother and sister free." Please.
I will work on them next. But you're free at this point, so I'm going to try and get you uncollared.
And he looks at his mother, and his mother just nods her head and says, "Yes, son. Let her work. Let her work."
So,
all right. No dice on.
Damn it. First one's great. After that, it all just goes to shit.
Yeah, well, at this level, you get 15% chance. So, it's a lucky roll on the first one. All right. Rest of you guys, any movement, well, Clark can't go anywhere.
This is such a long shot. Did Clark try to convince Danish to join our team? I've never said anything rude to Clark like that, so maybe, just maybe, we can use that to our advantage.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Clark, what would you like to tell Danish? Just sort of, and you don't have to use the exact words, and you don't have to try to do a Clark voice, but
I can't do a Clark voice. I would try, and it would be bad.
What would you want them to? What would you want him to say to Danish? Hey, Doors of Fear, thanks for joining us on the stream tonight.
Yay.
The people on my party have never spoken to me that way. They show me respect because I'm a bugbear. Or something along those lines. I don't know.
Would he say something about perhaps having a spot at the court?
Yes, and how he can easily defeat a puny human with a stick.
All right. Does Amy have the persuasion skill? I think she does. She has something along those lines, right? Amira has
deception and bargaining.
Bargaining. Okay. Go ahead and make a bargaining roll as Amy, and we will say that this is Clark's role to persuade Danish. Oh, 16 out of 14. Yeah, you were right. It was always gonna be a long shot, especially since the boss is right there. And Danish looks and says, "You are one. We are many. Put down your weapon, or I will bash your brains in and use your skull for a drinking cup."
More of a bowl.
Yeah. So that's the reaction he gets. Okay, I'm going to say that can be his movement. Do you still want to attack?
Definitely, he's going to use my skull as a drinking cup.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and make an attack. Armor class 7. Oh, getting so close.
Dang
but
it.
no.
I thought I hit it for a second.
Yeah, that's not going to do it. Not going to do it, unfortunately. All right. So Danish says, "Hi. You said you would be nice to me. Then you tried to brain me. Oh, I'll teach you a lesson." Since nobody else is doing anything, and 5 points of damage. Oh my goodness. Okay, Clark is hanging on by 1 hit point.
Oh dear.
The skinniest thread there is.
Yeah, Clark is also kind of hemmed in and can't go anywhere. Unless, well, no, he can't go anywhere, but I'm counting on the fact, Amira, I'll tell you something after the fight, but I'm counting on the fact that you actually are a spellcaster, and so you would know certain things about the spells. and I would allow you as a player to use that knowledge with Clark. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Very vague.
Yes, very vague. And if anybody on the stream knows what Clark could do based on the effects that are on people around him, you can help Amy out by putting it in the chat comments. All right. So that was Danish. That was the party. Okay. Mason.
Yes.
What are we doing here? Are we still trying neck collar or door collar or door lock?
I'll go ahead and still try neck collar.
Okay. No.
Damn it.
Nope. Nothing. Okay. Clark, what are we doing?
Okay, so could I cast spells in this state or no?
No, you can't. You can't. But you know certain things about, basically spells that are in your spell book. I'm going to presume you would know what the parameters and limitations of those are. But it would be up to the player to make a mention of that, or have Clark do something with that knowledge.
As soon as you say it's going to be mega obvious, but I'm at a loss.
Okay.
Oh.
Travis or Gooney, do you have any thoughts on what Clark might do?
Oh, God, no.
Did it hit?
5 is exactly what you need. And
yes.
Hey, how would Clark like to kill Danish?
I think your skull would look very nice on my vanity.
Okay, and
whatever Clark uses.
And with a big morning star, Danish's skull is crushed and he crumples to the ground in a heap. And I'm going to say that there is a flash of inspiration that happens. And something runs through Clark's mind. And the question he has is, these goblins are snoring. How can I stop them snoring? And that is the only hint for this round that you'll get. All right. So Danish sadly cannot roll for initiative anymore. So we're gonna let Core roll for initiative for the bad guys. Mason rolled last time, so Theolis or Amy, go ahead and do the honors for initiative for this time. And I will have Core. Oh man, jeez. Of course, another 7. Jeez.
You got it, Amy?
I guess so.
4. Okay. All right. Well, what will...
First edition, are we the lowest?
Pardon me?
In first edition,
you're breaking up a little.
The lowest?
So No, that's for skill checks. You want to get the target or lower.
Okay.
For initiative, it still is the higher initiative goes first. Yeah, this one they did a lot of things where some of them were low rolls, some of them were high rolls, and eventually they wisened up and said everything should just be higher is better, and they got rid of all that stuff where some of the low rolls were good. So Core is going to yell at Ra and Droop and say, "Get Danish out of the way." And so they will, I'm not going to move their tokens, but they will just drag Danish over here. Core will then move into the hallway. And Glassstaff looks at the rest of his troops and says, "That is what happens to those who fail." And they all kind of quake in their boots a little bit. And he says, "Core, do not fail me." And Core looks at Clark and says, "The boss wants you dead. So I hope you're ready to die now." And he's going to attack. AC 10, and he misses. Whoa! Fiddle. Yeah, let's change this up a little bit. Amy, what would Clark like to do this round?
Okay, so you said Clark's arms are like long and dangly, right?
Yes.
So they're at the perfect height to hit the goblin on the floor closest to him.
Yes. So you're gonna slap the goblin. Goblin sputters.
Goblin slap train.
Yes, and the goblin wakes up. What's Clark gonna say?
Wake up your friends. We got battling to finish.
And Relish is like, "Oh, okay, sure." And then he's going to slap him awake, and he's going to slap him awake. All right. So that will probably do it for movement for those in the hall. I'm going to go check on Mason. Would
He's
you like
a little
to move?
frustrated.
Okay. We still gonna work on these locks, or are we gonna?
I'm gonna give the main lock one more try.
Okay, all right.
If I'm not successful, then I'll try to promise them that I will come back. But
okay,
I'll go find something to pry the bars open with.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't work.
All right, so I make my. I basically just apologize and just say, the cards are not with me today. I will actually go see if I can't find a crowbar or something that I can use to undo the, to jimmy the bars open or something.
And Myrna says, yes, please. And she looks at her son and says, "Son, you stay right there. Don't go wandering off. It's dangerous."
And I look at the kid and say, "You might want to go be in the other cell, and then just we'll jam the lock, and that way you can keep the door unlocked. However, at first glance, it'll look like everything's as it should be, so to speak."
And the mom nods. So the kid tearfully walks back over here and sits down in dirty straw. And so then Mason, you can easily close the door, make it look like it's locked, but it's not really locked.
Okay.
All right. So that is Mason's turn. Because all that basically uses up action, movement, all that kind of stuff. So Amy, what is Clark going to do? He's got a new bugbear in front of him.
Let's try this again. Just saw what I did to your friend. We are good people. Join us and we will have plenty of food.
Okay. Go ahead and roll another. Go ahead and roll another check there. Oh. Core looks at Clark and says, "You've got plenty of food."
More than we can finish.
And you can see.
There is food.
Always helps everything. I should have mentioned food in the first part.
You can see the wheels turning in that little goblinoid brain of his. And so we're going to duplicate that. We're going to go to, oh, whoops, shoot. I didn't mean to close that because I'm still going to need it at some point, I think. I'm going to go to the journal. Come on. Where are we? Copy of Bugbear. Edit copy of Bugbear. You don't need this. I'm gonna change your name to Core. KHOR. All players. All players. Save that. And then go to this token and say the token belongs to Core. Hey, guess what? You guys now have Clark, Core, and the goblins that you can control in the rest of the fight. So, yeah. Core is like, I never liked this glass staff anyway. Let's go kill him. And Clark can think whatever he wants to think about that. So that is, oh, hey, who wants to act for Dill, Spoink, and Relish? Because they can't move, but they do have melee attacks.
Take Dill.
Okay, Dill. And what's Dill gonna do?
Wants to stab. Dill wants to stab. Dill wants to stab.
Okay.
Oh, let's see. Come.
Armor class 6 for 5 points of damage. Ooh, that hits. Blam goes, "Hey! Ow!" And he is bloodied. And Tola goes, "You damn fool, you should have taken their weapons while they were asleep." "But I didn't want to wake them up." Useless.
You face Dill the Fearless.
And now, Spoink does have, I think Spoink has a bow. And if we do that, he actually does have, he does have line of sight to Tolog, who is a human who stands taller than Dill. So he could try to shoot at Tolog if he wants to. He can't really shoot around the corner at Blam, but he can shoot at Tolog. So I'll just give you guys that. If
would to use Spoink that way, she can participate in the battle.
Okay, yeah. Gooney.
Join the revenge party.
If you go to your journal and you find the entry for Spoink, you should go into the combat tab, and I think there's a short bow there for him.
Combat short bow.
And it would be the short range. If I made different ranges for those guys, I don't remember where I made different ranges. Okay, So short range attack, AC 13 for 6. Okay, that misses, but now they go, hey, the goblins are awake. They're attacking. And Core says, ho, 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 just in time. And he said, you humans will know the wrath of the goblins. And yeah, so that happens. Okay, I think that's the end of the round. So we'll do this, and oh, hey, Core is not one of the enemies anymore. So now we'll go ahead and we'll let Ra be the representative of the thing. Where is? Oh, I didn't put their token on, or I didn't put their character sheet out yet. So let's see. Red. Okay. Red brand. Okay. So character sheet, combat, or no, yeah, combat initiative. Okay, Ra gets an 8. These guys. Okay. So who is rolling for the party this time?
I rolled last time, didn't I? Or was that someone else?
I think that was me.
Okay, so Theolis, I think we're to you. 3. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately. These guys.
And good rules in
yeah, these guys are rolling well on initiative, but not well on much else. Okay, so movement. Well, Ra is going to move here. Actually, no. Ra is going to stay put here. Neshram is going to move over here. Droop is going to move back here next to his boss. And then you guys in the room, you're petrified, but your ears still work. You and your eyes still work. You see the door to this chamber open, and there's a couple of red band ruffians right there. And one of them says, "Hey, there's this guy in the way." And he realizes that Sildar is petrified. And so that's kind of all he can do at this moment. That was the movement. Ranged weapons. Okay, Droop is going to take a shot at his former ally, because his ally has now abandoned the party. And actually, guys, remember next time around, I'm going to need to roll morale for the enemies because they're starting to lose. They're starting to lose people. So, Goblin. And there's this. And there's this. And he's got. There's a short sword. He's going to attack with that. It's an armor class 13, so he misses. He misses core. All right. Then spells. Spells. Okay, now we can go back and look at what Glassstaff has. I hate it when I keep closing character sheets that I should keep open. Glassstaff. Okay. Level 2. Range 10 feet. Okay. Well, then that's not going to do any good. Actually, it will do some good. It will do some good. But no, it won't, because he has to be 10 feet away. All right. Never mind. Oh, damn it, he says. And he mutters under his breath that his spell is not in the way. And Ra and Nesham, these red brand ruffians, they will use their short swords and they will try to attack Core. So Nesham will attack and hits AC 12. Ra will attack, hits AC 9. Those both miss. Yeah, my initiative rolls are really good tonight, but my combat rolls are not so good. All right, party. Now we got some options here. So, movement. Does Core want to move anywhere?
I have half a plan.
Okay.
You have half a plan.
The rest will work itself out. Okay, how long are Core's arms?
Core's arms, they are longer than the average person, but he can only reach into the next square. He can't like reach 2 squares away or anything like that.
So could he like just barely get Mustard?
Oh yeah, he could. He could slap Mustard. All right, so he slaps Mustard. And hey, now you guys have another guy awake and in the fight.
I want him to tell Mustard, boy, go wake up your friends. He's British now, by the way.
And Mustard looks and says, oh, sure thing, Core. And, kind of is odd. So you guys can move Mustard wherever you want to move him. By friends, or is he talking about Albon, Barker, and Ripper? But, I'll let you guys do that. Okay, Theolis is is held, so you can't wake up anybody that has the net on them. But the ones at the sleeping thing, you can wake up Ripper, Albon, or Barker. And I would, okay. So start with him. That's 5 feet of movement. He's got a total of 30 feet. So is he just going to go ahead and wake up everybody he can reach?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll just have him do that. And all right. Hey. So that means he'll actually stop over here. I think 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Actually, he'll go over here and he'll protect Amy, Empress Amy. He cannot get any closer to the door than that. And Breadhead is like, "Hey, they're waking up!" And you can hear Glassstaff go, "Shit." So that was Mustard. Who else wants to move?
Can Core move still?
Oh yeah, sure.
I just want to move him out the
like a free
doorway.
action. Okay.
Charge glass staff. He can cover the distance.
Want to charge glass
his
staff.
face.
Sounds like
He
an Empress Amy
cast hold
move.
person.
Sounds like an Empress Amy move, and I love it. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So there's movement. Ripper's awake. I'll give him 25 feet of movement, which is half, and I'll give Albon and Barker 15 feet of movement each. So yeah, Ripper could stop right in between these two guys if he wanted to, or go past and let Clark move in or whatever. And Albon can just kind of push through Theolis's face, kind of squeeze by. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, things like that. Yeah, if Albon used all of his movement to 15, he would actually wind up right in the middle of the hallway, which is probably not what we want to do. But he could go, he could go like here, or he could go here. Ripper has plenty of movement. He can get all the way up into here somewhere, I think, if he wants to.
You want to put Ripper in between these two?
Yeah, you want to put him here or put him somewhere else in this room.
I'd say put him between. Put him there, and then that'll put Albon in the hallway. That's now that they're awake, they're going to be trying to, and then Barker will help Mustard with this guy eventually.
Okay, yeah, because actually Barker can move all the way over here if he wants to, and be right next to the door. So all right, so that's movement. Now, ranged weapons. Splank is the only goblin that has a valid target, which would be Tolog, if we want to do ranged weapons. I think, unless does Albon have a bow? I don't remember whether Albon has a bow or not. You have to look at his character sheet.
He has a battle axe.
Yeah, just a battle axe. Okay. All right. So, do we want to have Spoink shoot at Tolog here?
Sure.
Okay, so somebody can go ahead and roll.
Is that short or?
Yeah, it's short. Yeah.
Okay.
Short is anything inside 50 feet on a short bow.
Oops.
16.
Sorry.
Armor class 4. Okay, armor class 4.
And we take the other one's damage.
So 2 points of damage. He's like, ow! Okay, so now he's hurt.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Spells. Ripper and Core, Barker and Theolis and Mustard, they're fresh out of spells, unfortunately. So that brings up melee attack. So
is Mason going to move?
Oh yeah, Mason, are you going to move? Because you had mentioned you were done with. Now the sounds of combat appear to be louder, and you're definitely hearing more humanoid voices.
Yes. So I am going to want to exit stage left.
Okay.
So to speak.
Then in that case, I will go ahead and I will. Come on, you dumb thing, you. Yes, there we go. Okay. You open up this, And you see a new area. Oops. You see a new area.
Mm-hmm.
And, all right, come on. There we go. That's what you're supposed to do when I do that. Area 4. 3 large stone sarcophagi stand within this dusty crypt, and propped up against each sarcophagus is a human skeleton clad in bits of rusty mail. False columns along the walls are carved in the image of spreading oak trees. The double doors in the southeast corner are sheathed in tarnished copper plate.
So are the coffins open, or it just looks like the skeleton in front of it is a guard?
It looks like the skeleton in front of it is a guard, and I don't know why they did this, but they have those on a different layer. So let me put them here. They do not appear to be moving. And let me just double check. Okay. All right. Give me. You notice these things are standing here. You also see this door here is standing open, is ajar.
Which one?
The one that I'm pinging.
Nope. You're on the wrong layer.
Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Okay. This one here.
Ah. So.
Okay.
Yes.
And yes, give me an intelligence check. So just go to your main and click the little die next to your intelligence, and you're looking to roll your intelligence score or lower. Oh, good. Yeah, you remember that the whole time you've seen those guards walk in and walk out of this room. And every time they walk in and walk out of this room, they always have those red cloaks on. Now, there's a red cloak or 2 in that pile of clothes over there. And when you get to the door and open it here, nothing moves. The skeletons don't move, but they are standing there.
Okay. Well, first of all, I didn't know there was a red cloak in there. So if I had seen that originally, I would have put that on because, hey, first sight, don't want to be going, hey, you shouldn't be here.
Okay. So we'll say you have a red cloak on. All right.
Okay. So then he's going to be like, you said this one is ajar?
Yes, that one is ajar.
Okay, so he wants to go that way he's going to very aggressively walk like the red cloaks towards this door.
Okay. You walk over there and you walk through the door and nothing happens.
Okay. And then all I see, I guess, is a door down here.
You see a door here which is open. Yeah. Okay. So actually no. These guys were in a hurry, so they didn't really close the secret door very well. So I'm going to say that you see the secret. You see where there's the outline of a door that probably is designed to blend into the wall, but because they rushed through it trying to get out of here, it's still ajar. So yeah, because the party had found it last week, so I just figure I'll give you the benefit of that this week.
All right. So how much more movement do I have available?
You have a total of 30. So you have used 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can go one more square.
Okay.
No, you have 40, I think. So 30, 35. So you can get actually right here if you want to come out.
Actually, I wanted to quick see what was in this room.
In here? Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, you can go into this room.
Okay.
This is dun 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 the armory.
Cool.
Racks of weapons line the walls of this chamber, including spears, swords, crossbows, and bolts. A dozen dirty red cloaks hanging from hooks by the door. I don't think they took any because the party already had plenty last week. So, and there were only 3 adventurers, so there's examples of every one of those weapons left. If Mason wants to arm himself herself.
Okay. Basically, either this turn or next turn, I will look for something I can use as a crowbar or hammer and grab up some light weapons, etc., some cloaks, whatever, and then I was going to go back over here.
Okay. All right. I'll say that you can. Let's take a look at what would be a good thief. Be a good thief class thing.
Somebody's chuckling.
You know what we're gonna call this? We're gonna call this a pickpocket to see if you can find a crowbar. So I'm gonna roll a pickpockets roll for you. Because once again, TM's supposed to roll it. Oh, and with a 19 out of 20, you find hiding under one of the shelves, you find the tail end of a crowbar.
Yay!
So you can grab that. I'll also say that you can find a short sword. I believe in this edition, let me just double check so I'm not lying to you. I believe in this edition there are restrictions on what weapons thieves can use.
Oh, I wasn't going to use them.
Okay.
I'm thinking of prisoners.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you can take some short swords, some daggers. Crossbows, they're not going to be good with crossbows because they're not trained in how to use weapons. But yeah. So, okay, fine. Take those and take several cloaks. And then next round you can run back there. All right, so that's your movement. Oh, and everything else. All right. Party. We're up to. Do we already have ranged weapons? Are we ready for melee weapons now? Okay. So, who wants to go make a melee attack against somebody?
Deal want some.
Okay, so Dill will attack. Armor class 15. That's gonna miss Blam. So does Ripper want to attack? If so, who's Ripper going to attack?
Amy?
I'm using Ripper. Okay. I'm just gonna go after this one.
Okay, Ra. Armor class 8. Oh, not quite enough. All right. Is Barker going to attack anybody? This door is open.
Barker Sildar out of the way at the same time he attacks.
He can kind of take his sword and sort of jam it at Breadhead if he wants to, and then because he's out of movement. Next round, he can use movement to push Sildar out of the way. So I think Theolis, you can go ahead and roll for Barker if you want to.
Right, but Barker doesn't show any weapons available under combat.
He doesn't?
Nope.
Oh, crap. Okay. Then I will just add a battle axe for him. Whoops! Hold on. Let me battle axe, and then what's the thing from? Yes. Okay. So we'll do 1d8, and all right. So now he should have a battle axe. Oh, 7 points of damage. Yeah, that's going to bloody Breadhead. He's like, oh, and he's blood all over the place. Mason, you can hear somebody scream. Sounds like a human. Sounds like he just got hurt really, really bad. And last but not least, Core. Who does Core want to attack? He's got a friendly goblin there to attack, or he's got a friendly spellcaster there to attack. Who do we want to?
We are trying to build a goblin army, not a spellcaster army.
Okay. -2. Ooh, for 7 points of damage. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, that doesn't bloody Glassstaff, but Glassstaff goes, Core, stop! And Core is just like, I always hated you, Schumann. And that will do it for the party. Hey, we're a little bit after 9 o'clock. We're about halfway through our session, a little bit more than halfway through our session. We now have a bunch of allies awake and engaged in the combat. So let's go ahead and take our break. And then we will come back. I'm going to say let's come back at 25 after the hour. So we'll take about 10 minutes. Viewers, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We will be back in a few minutes. I'm going to put the slate up and put the music on. If there's any questions that you have for us during the break, go ahead and throw them in the chat, and we will go ahead and try to answer those when we come back from our break. All right. Oh, whoops. No, sorry. Not that. No, that one is right. Okay. That timing is right. Okay. And I'll put the music on, and I'm going to mute, and we will talk to you in a few minutes. Hey, hey. Oh, okay, doors of here. When we get done with the session, I'll head over to Discord and chat with you. Well, good, players. I'm glad that you guys got some of the other guys awake.
Yay!
I did say I had half a plan.
Yes, you did.
I don't know where the other half is. That was it.
You have half a plan.
Vengeance will be mine. Players, viewers, the players, they always are putting stuff in a Discord. I need to go ahead and ramp that other thing up that I set up a couple of months ago. Now that I have some time between now and the new year, I'll try to dedicate a day to doing that. There's a new Discord server, players and viewers, that I have set up. It is a Discord server that is a single server for all of my games instead of having them in separate servers, and it will have channels and areas for the players in each game, and it will also have areas for all of the viewers. So what we can do with that once we get it set up is that people who like to log in and watch the game can then also log in on the Discord server while the game is going on, and they can choose to chat with other viewers in Twitch or choose to chat with other viewers in Discord. And if the players wish, they can, do all the kind of silly stuff that they do during the game, like dropping memes and everything like that, into either a channel that only the players can see or in a channel that the viewers can see as well. So it gives a little bit more opportunity for interaction, and perhaps may make it easier to grow our little community a little bit more as well. We certainly hope that Sean is having a good holiday. And all right, we are at 25 after, so I'm going to go ahead and kill the music. And we will go back to the map. And we are at the beginning of a new round. So, I believe Mason is back up on initiative, and we will go ahead and give these guys a chance to roll initiative as well.
Are they going to do a morale check?
Oh,
they had one die.
Yes, they did. They did. Okay. They had one die, and their boss is now under attack. So,
from their 4-moment
normally they have a what is their morale? Their morale is normally that. Boss is under attack. The hobgoblins are dead, or bugbears are dead or defecting. More enemies are awake. 2 of them are bloodied. So I'm going to say that takes their morale. They're still in their hideout though, so that's going to take their morale down to 7 instead of a 10. So let's do, or actually instead of it'll be a 9 instead of a 12. Because normally it would be a 12 with the boss around. Ooh. They need to roll 9 or under to keep fighting. They're rolling 11. So Ra looks back at the glass staff and says, "Hey, buddy, you're on your own. We're not dying for you. That's not what we signed up for." And Glassstaff says, "You faithless. And when his turn comes around, when his turn comes around, he is going to cast a spell. He is going to cast a spell in this area here, because he can only affect a 10-foot by 10-foot area. It's going to make it harder for Ripper to get to him. It's going to affect Core. And the spell that he will... okay, come on. Glassstaff, where's your thing? There it is. The spell that he's going to attack or cast is this. An area of webs. A great area of webs. 10 feet by 10 feet by 10 feet that last 480 minutes. They appear. So let me see. Do I have artwork for a web? I don't know if I have an artwork for a web here. Oh yeah, I do. So
I'm fully expecting like a Minecraft dungeon.
All right. So we're gonna put that in here. It's a white web kind of on a white floor, so it doesn't show up that well. We'll put it on the map layer. But then we'll get rid of this. And I'm just going to leave that outline there to show where it is, because honestly, I can't really see very much, and I don't know how well it's showing up on the stream. Yeah, it's barely visible at all. You really have to kind of like zoom way in and look at it to see to tell that there's any strands there. So sorry, but I do have artwork for a web, but it's not meant to be on a white background, unfortunately. So that's what he does. And clearly that means that he is going to run the next turn. So I guess actually I'm going to put... Who rolled for initiative? Mason did. Okay, so Mason... I'm not even going to bother to do that, but party, you guys do get a turn. So, who is controlling Core? Now, a human of average strength, a score of 9 to 12, will take 2d4 turns to break through the web. Anyone wearing Gauntlets of Ogre Power can break free of a web in 4 rounds. So now it's 2d4, 20 to 80 minutes to break through the web with average strength. Core has, I think, above average strength. What is the bugbear's? What is the bugbear's strength? The bugbear's strength is 15. So instead of 2d4, he can break through it in 10 to 40 minutes. Ripper has people in the way, although...
How big is Ripper?
Ripper is a medium-sized creature. Let's see what his strength is. His strength is 12. So yeah, it would take him 20 to 80 minutes to break through that. But he is a wolf, so he could probably leap up on that table and
run what I was thinking.
Yeah. So if he wanted to, he could run around those webs and get to Glassstaff. And again, there's no opportunity attacks in this edition. Albon doesn't have a ranged weapon. These guys in here are just like putting their hands up. Breadhead and the other guy over in this room next to Sildar are putting their hands up. Danish is bleeding on the floor. Blam and Tolag are putting their hands up. So, do we have anybody else that wants to do something on movement?
Me? Being like, boink.
Oh, yeah. Mason. Okay. So, what would you like to do?
Now that I have stuff gathered up in my arms, I want to make my way back to the cell to...
Okay. Okay, so you can get all the way back into here.
Okay. All right.
All right. And they see you coming in, and wonderful. And I'll let you. Yeah, well, just since we're kind of halfway out of combat, I'll just let you move over there, and you can. You're going to use the crowbar against that.
Well, I guess my question is:
okay.
Are the hinges to these doors hidden, or are they on the outside?
Oh, they're on the outside. Yeah, you could start prying that open if you. Here's the way I am going to rule this. If you want to try to work at the hinges with the crowbar, it will be a success, but it will take a few rounds or a certain amount of time to do that. If you want to try to deal with the chain, I am going to let the crowbar be a tool for removing traps, a modified tool for removing traps, and because it is a big, heavy tool against a moderately heavy thing, you're going to get a bonus, but so you'll have a little bit better than the base chance.
Okay.
So you can either
there's a success. So
okay,
if not, then I'll start working on the hinges.
Okay, so normally you would get a 10% chance, but I am going to decide that it's this instead. So let me roll the die. Okay. It's your lucky day.
Oh.
You with a 30% chance, you jam the crowbar between what looks like kind of a weak link in the chain, and you twist it, and with a 27 on the roll, that link breaks, and the chain falls apart, and you can pull it out and free this particular door. So now the door is open to both cells.
Okay. So then I start handing out the red cloaks and try to get them to position them so that they can hide the collar.
Okay. All right.
And then hand them a weapon.
Okay. Myrna, being the mother, said, children, now be careful with those weapons. Be careful. You cannot just go running around with those. You'll hurt yourself. And then she looks and she says, thank you. What's going on? Do you know?
No idea. But we'll worry about that later. So then she'll start leading them. You know.
That'll be on the next round.
That's next round whenever.
Yeah. Okay. So back to the combat actions. Do we have anybody that wants to make a ranged attack? You're your enemies, except for the glass staff, appear to have given up. So, I don't know that anybody's in a position to make a ranged attack against the glass staff, which would then leave Ripper. So, who wants to attack with Ripper? Or does Ripper want to attack or just be there and menace the glass staff? Sorry, we missed most of what you said, Travis. We just heard a little bit.
I was just going to say have Ripper guard the door until Albon or some of the others can get by the surrendering opponents.
Okay, all right. So Ripper will just sort of bare his teeth at the glass.
Our dog.
And then the glass staff will be like, oh, bloody hell. And then, yeah, so that will basically get us to the end of combat, because basically I just wanted to get to the end of that round. All right. So, good job, guys. That is considered a victory. So,
am I still stunned?
Oh, you're going to be stunned for like an hour and a half.
This is not the kind of statue I wanted to be. I wanted a gold statue.
Yeah, you didn't want a flesh and blood statue. You want a gold statue. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and close the order of combat. Dun 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 dun. The little happy music plays as Bowser falls into the lava or whatever it was that he does at the end of the level. And all right. So you guys can move around the tokens. These webs are going to be there for a long time. The stun effect is going to be there for a long time. Everybody who was asleep is awake. So let me go across the row here, and then since he has done less than everybody else, I'm going to start with Theolis. Theolis, what would you like the NPCs to do? The ones that you're controlling this round.
It's going to try to get Albon into the room so that he can question the glass staff.
Okay, all right. So he can push Nesham out of the way. Nesham and Rav kind of drop their weapons on the floor. So have Droop. Droop just goes and sits on one of these barrels over here, puts his weapons down, and starts picking his nose. Typical goblin thing.
I got all those goblins.
All right. So Barker, want to do anything?
Does Barker have heal?
Barker does have the healing skill, yes. I think.
Arg is almost dead.
Okay. So, yes. Barker can go, and I think under the skills tab, I'm pretty sure because we were using it last week. So, Barker, let me just double check. I think that I gave him. Oh no, I didn't give it to him. Well, so healing, healing, and then I think muscle. Can you tell me real quick what? Oh, it's intelligence. Muscle is strength. Okay, so 2 slots available. 0. Whoops. All right. So yeah, now we should be able to go ahead and use his skill check. Oh, well, he doesn't injure Clark any further.
Thought Clark was about to die. I was so scared that one second.
He doesn't injure Clark, but he can't heal him. I need to go and grab Albon and make sure Albon is okay. So yeah, so we're gonna add muscle here. All right. All right. So Albon's not close enough to do that, but he's there. So that's Barker. Let's take a look at what do we want the goblins to do, or Clark for that matter.
I think even though he's hurt, Clark's going to try to go in and check on Amy.
Okay.
And the goblins will more than likely follow.
Okay.
If they can, as well as they can.
Yeah,
depending on how they get along.
Yeah, they can go here. Dill will stick his tongue out at these guys and then walk on in. So Clark is up here and says, "Oh, Mr. Sammy, oh, are you all right? Are you all right?" And then, "What's wrong? What's wrong with her?" Barker will yell. It's one of the spells. She's alive, but she can't move. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible, Empress Amy. Oh, well then, I will stand here and I will protect you.
And just remember, I'm still mid-theft.
Yeah. And he says, "Oh, those are very nice items. I think you're making good choices there, Empress Amy, if I may say."
The best choices.
All right. Glassstaff just kind of rolls his eyes at all that. So, Mason, you've got some freed prisoners. What do you want to do with them?
Well, once I get them all outfitted, then have I heard that the noises have kind of settled down a little?
Yeah, the noises have settled down. There's no sound of approaching feet at this point, so you really don't know what the disposition is. There's no cheering. There's no. There's still somebody. Oh, but that guy is down to 1 hit point, having had his arm chopped off.
I'm going to go ahead and lead them back over here to the secret entrance that I found.
Okay.
And, or try to, and I just give them a quick, don't look at these zombies, or not zombies, but these skeletons that are standing there. Just walk forward like you've got somewhere to go and it's important.
Okay, and you put red cloaks on all of them, or you made sure they wore red cloaks before they come out of the room?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So go ahead and move your token, and I'll let them follow along behind. All right, so the mom will make the kid go first, and then the other kid, and she will follow here, and she just is very nervous. And yeah, we're not in combat, so you can just go as far as you want to go.
Okay. So then it's kind of a crapshoot from there. So
yeah. All right.
Lots of speaking, listening, trying to figure out where the hell things are.
Okay. Let me tell you about the room you have entered. Which is area 7. Okay. So area 7 is the storeroom. That's the first one you come into. This area is north end of a large natural cavern, but it's been finished with dressed stone block walls and flagstone floor. Several barrels are stored against walls here, along with a number of empty crates, straw for packing, hammers, pry bars, and nails. Cavern continues for some distance to the south. You can make out several passages open off the larger cavern, what looks like a deep pit or crevasse in the floor. And yes, so and then out in this area, a cold breeze fills this large natural cavern, carrying with it the faint scent of decaying flesh. A crevasse divides the cavern and is flanked by 2 rough stone columns that support the 20-foot high ceiling. 2 arched wooden bridges span the chasm. And you can see a guy over here in a red cloak, and he looks up and he sees you and he says, "Oh, get out of here! Get out of here, man! Oh, they've captured the boss. We've got to run. That's our only hope."
Interesting.
And he matches.
He's a dick. So then he kind of just. Which one of the 2 said that? This one?
This guy, yeah.
Okay. So he's like, is he injured? Is he?
This guy is not injured. Oh no, this guy is injured. Yes, he got hit by an arrow, but he's not
What's
bloodied.
Wrong with this guy?
He's bloodied. He got stabbed by a dagger. Really, really, really good.
Okay.
Or a short sword, goblin short sword, I think it was.
Okay.
Got stabbed by really
good. I guess I'll just pull out my short bow, and basically it was just I always thought that the boss was a dick, and try to shoot this guy.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, if you pull out a bow and say that, he's just like, "Oh, damn it! You're with them, aren't you? Oh,
who? I'm not with anybody."
And then this one says, "Oh, you idiot! She's the one we found at Krista's." And Tolok says, "How did you get? Oh, damn it! Oh, bother!" And they just sort of stand where they stop running. They're not going to try to get away now.
Okay. Well, she'll still pull a bow and arrow and just say, "Yeah, I have some company, and I would really like you to move, so you can perhaps maybe fight another day. But right now, you just need to get out of my way."
And this guy's like, all right. He backs up out of the way.
And he's like, "Get off," or she's like, "Get off the bridge, dumbass."
Okay, so he gets off the bridge over here. There's a passage that goes around this column, goes over here to this bridge, and then you can see, I'll just say there's enough light that you can see that there's a passage leading out here.
Okay. All right, so I'll take them down that way.
Yeah, and in fact, they will come on, and when the mother comes, she says, oh, yes, that's the passage out to the woods. Yes, children, run. Go across the far bridge and just go straight out the passage. Don't dilly-dally. And like, yes, mommy. And so they...
And then Mason just kind of stands there at the edge of the bridge and just waits till they're completely gone.
Okay, so they will move down here. They have this amazing ability to go through solid rock walls.
Yep.
And then they will go on down the passage and disappear.
Okay. So,
All right.
Yeah. Once
All
they're
right.
gone, then I'm kind of like, you were saying with the others. What others?
Well, they've captured the boss. Down there, and they point behind where Blam is. They point the passage where he is.
Well, like I said, I always thought your boss was a dick. So, maybe now would be a good time just to leave and start over your life again, make better decisions. Go be a farmer or something.
And this guy says, "Oh, all right, and he steps across, and then he starts to go this way, and this guy says, I'm just glad to get out of here, and he starts running down this way, and he runs down this way, and as he gets down here, Mason, you see this big green goo drop from the ceiling right on him.
God.
And he starts going, ah, 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 ah. And,
it's my kid.
And this one goes, oh, Blam, you idiot. And Blam is like, and his screams. Mason kind of watches in
Fascinated horror
as like from his screams start to gurgle, and then you sort of see his arms begin to turn to slime and his legs begin to turn to slime, and then finally all the screams are cut off, and he just is part of
Mason looks a little green around the gills at this point in time, like ugh.
And this guy's just like, oh shit, I'm getting out of here, and off he goes.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. So yeah, that is there, because the party noticed that on the ceiling, and with all the excitement of the battle, the one guy and getting bloodied and injured, he forgot not to go that way.
Okay then. So
all right. So we're back to Glassstaff. You guys can move tokens around however you want. So who wants to interrogate Glassstaff, or what do we want to do? Do we want to tie him up and wait until the hold person wears off and have the party do interrogations, or what?
I think Gallibond's going to request that he dispels his spell or removes his spell, or if he can undo what's been done.
That may or may not exist.
He will throw his staff down on the ground. He will he'll say, "Oh, a lot of good that will do you." And then he says, "I cannot undo the spells. I don't have enough magic for that. Your friends will be able to move after another hour and a half or so. You can call it learning their lesson for interrupting my plans." And then he says, "As for the webs, give them 8 hours. They'll be gone. Or you can start to cut that traitor out of the webs if you want." And so Ripper just growls at him. So, party?
What?
Time up.
Okay, time up.
Yeah.
All right. So
time up. Wait it out.
Tie them up, wait it out.
We're not gonna.
And they can work on cutting out
not,
the silk webs over there. Maybe sell webs for your money.
So they'll go ahead and they will cut enough of those webs out that that core is free. That takes a few minutes. That happens before the thing wears off, and eventually you guys, after, what is it? I think is it 90 minutes or is it 80 minutes? You guys can eventually move. It's a long time in this edition of the game. And yeah, that goes away. All right. So you have Glassstaff tied up. Mason and PCs. You guys can move around wherever you want to go at this point. Oh, and Sildar.
Okay.
How much stuff is left on the table?
Okay, go in here.
This room.
Okay. All right, let us take a look and see what is in room 12. Glassstaff's quarters. The walls of this bedchamber are covered with drapes of scarlet cloth. The furnishings include a small writing desk with matching chair, a comfortable-looking bed, and a wooden chest at the foot of the bed. And
for now, put the 4 red brands or red cloaks into this room so that the party's able to speak with and interrogate the Glassstaff.
Okay. I presume that you guys are going to investigate the desk.
Well,
Am I done stealing stuff?
Okay. Yeah. Just you started to write down, I think, in your character sheet what is just like various spell components and alchemical stuff. So we'll just say that you have put on your character sheet that you have 100 gold pieces worth of spell reagents, and we'll just sort of have that be a generic thing, because in this edition of the game, they don't really put a tag on the spells to say which ones require material components. You have to read through the description of the spell, and if it has a material component, it will tell you in there. But so for now, just 100 gold pieces worth of assorted material components, and add that to Empress Amy's character sheet. So yeah, we've got Glassstaff tied up. Core's guarding him. Albon's guarding him. What do we want to do with the rest of the red cloaks? Let's start trying to disposition the rest of our guys. I think you guys started to say, but I didn't catch what you wanted to do with them.
Since no exits were described in this room except for the door. That's what I was going to have the 4 red brands put in here until we can decide.
Okay, so we'll put the red brands in there. And actually, they stay as far away from that desk as they can.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're kind of, you guys have seen what this
Past
this
Sildar.
wizard is capable. What this wizard is capable of doing. So they just don't know whether he might have traps on his desk or what. So, all right. So what do you want to do with Sildar?
I move past him to getting into the room.
Okay. All right. He'll get out of the way for you.
Search the desk. You seem afraid of it.
All right. Various papers and notes are stacked neatly on the desk, mostly consisting of Yarno's written orders to apothecaries and alchemists in nearby settlements for more materials for his workshop. The characters also find a letter signed with the black spider's symbol. And I think this is actually a handout. So let me take a look at this. See if this is in here. Oh, yes. Okay. Play your handout. Oh, this it? Oh, yes. Yes. We're going to show it to everyone. All right, come on. Show it to everyone. Come on. There you go. It says, Lord Albrecht, my spies in Neverwinter. Or, it's not Neverwinter. So anyway. My spies in the big city tell me that strangers are due to arrive in Sealsea. They could be working for the dwarves. Capture them if you can, kill them if you must, but don't allow them to upset our plans. See that any dwarven maps in their possession are delivered to me with haste. I'm counting on you, Yarno. Don't disappoint me. And the signature is a spider symbol, as you see there.
We need a cool signature, guys. Someone else has one.
And since, sorry, that's not the button I meant to hit. Since Amira found it, I'm going to go ahead and drop it into Amira's journal. So, Amira, you have something called a curious letter in your journal now that if you need to reference it later. That is the letter.
Anything else on the desk?
Anything else? Just those papers and everything, but there is a wooden chest at the foot of the bed.
Definitely gonna break that open.
Okay, actually you find that it is unlocked. And as you open it up, the wooden chest contains the best pickings of the Red Brand's loot over the last 2 months. It contains 180 silver pieces, 130 gold pieces, a silk pouch containing 5 carnelians, which are little semi-precious stones worth 10 gold pieces each, 2 peridots worth 15 gold pieces each, and 1 pearl worth 100 gold pieces. It also contains 2 magic items. There is a scroll of Charm Person, and there is a scroll with a spell that you've heard about, Amy, but you haven't yet mastered. It's a scroll with a spell called Fireball on it.
Oh, crap.
You sound scared. It's not like I'm trying to rule the world or anything.
And oh yeah, there's also there's also a, as you guys well know, there was a staff that the glass staff had, and curiously enough, the staff does appear to be made of glass.
It's mine. I call dibs.
Okay.
Why does he have 2 glass staffs?
Huh?
Why does he have 2?
He doesn't. He just has the one.
Oh, he just keeps it in a small little chest of treasures?
No. That's not in the chest. That's something that he had on him.
Oh, okay, the one we had him throw down.
Yeah. All right. All right, you guys are free. You have found some loot. What are we gonna do now with the rest of? Oh, okay. So what are we gonna do with Droop? Droop the
Droop.
goblin.
Okay. Well,
Our new friend.
Turn them over to Dill for initiation and rebranding. If somebody in the Twitch channel wants to stick with Droop, or does they have do they have suggestions for a different name?
Yes. Viewers, we had some people figure this out, find one of the Easter eggs in the chat last week. You can spend channel points and you can rename an NPC. So if you want to think of a condiment to call Droop, to go along with dill, relish, and, well, I don't know where Spoink came from, but dill, relish, and Spoink, and Droop. Horseradish. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah. We'll see if the chat can come up with anything. Otherwise, if not, by the end of the session, we can go ahead and do that. That's also where Breadhead's name came from, and where Danish's name came from. The late lamented Danish.
We gave him a chance to be one of us.
Yeah, he was a creamy strawberry Danish. He was delicious with a mace right over his head. All right.
Jellyfield.
Jellyfield. I think that was the red brand that ran the wrong way, is Jellyfield. Or he's just plain jelly. He's jelly of everybody else that gets to stay alive. All right. So.
I think Sildar would like to understand why Yarno would request his head, since they were friends, or were under the impression that they were compatriots prior to the situation.
He says, well, of course, you idiot. You're the only person in Sealsea who knew that I was once Yarno. What the hell was his stupid name?
I was Yarno.
I was once Yarno Albrecht. Everybody else just knows me now as a shadowy figure called the Black Staff, or the Glass Staff. If you had seen me around, you would be able to tell everyone my true identity. I couldn't let that happen.
And the plot thickens. Dun, dun, dun.
The Glass Staff. He's in charge of the Brown Pants, who lived up to their name.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they sure did. I'm just going to put Just gonna put nets on these guys to remind us that they are tied up. Making the presumption that that would be that would happen at some point. All right. Okay, so PCs, go ahead and ask any questions you have of Glassstaff. Figure out what you want to do.
Oh, how about we let someone have the opportunity to walk into the middle of the room and
Okay, yeah.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, Mason can
He was
probably
hanging
come
out on the stairs. He's just sitting there, decided to start smoking a little bit of a tiny little clay pipe, and he's just watching people walk back and forth between these two doors.
Okay,
Yeah,
Theolis, when you walk out, you see a guy sitting on the stairs, casually smoking a pipe. As you walk through the hall.
Hey, he's wearing a red cloak too. So, hey, we missed one.
What?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit there.
Sorry.
Travis, go ahead and try it again.
My bad. We got another brown pants over here.
Sorry. I don't speak garble.
Yeah, you hit a patch of the bad robot voice there.
Yeah.
Try it one more
Discord
time.
doesn't like you voice.
Yeah.
Maybe I offended him and he left.
Oh no, he just muted. Okay.
Sometimes I have to jump out and jump back in. Sometimes it clears it up.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's a little clearer now.
So it's imagine it being well, actually, I sent my token to you, Gallibond.
Oh, okay.
But basically, now that she's got kind of her stuff back on and whatnot, she just took the red cloak off and is actually just sitting on it. But she's got her head is covered with a hood and somewhat looking like a little bit of a mask kind of hanging down kind of under her chin. I'm all COVID ready. So anyway, sitting there smoking on a bit of a pipe, looking kind of, her clothes look a little bit, well used. Let's put it that way. But she's just kind of sitting there, sitting there with her elbows on her knees, just watching.
Okay.
What did you originally say, Theolis?
I said we missed one. We got one of the brown pants stuck here.
She looks down at her pants and goes, "My pants aren't brown."
That's what we call you little cowards running around in the tunnels.
I've been locked up for the last, I don't know, what is today?
Best of your recollection, it's been 2 or 3 days. It was before the party got to town, so let's say it's been like 5 days. 5 days that you've been locked up because the party's been.
Yeah, looks down at herself and goes, I don't know who the hell you are. I've been locked up for a couple of days, so yeah. Since you distracted the guards and they ran off, I had an opportunity to get out of the jail cell and let out my fellow inmates. So, I don't know about you. What were you doing? Heard a lot of noise.
Lane?
We didn't catch any of that.
Oh, damn. Into the
Yeah, I think Travis tries to do voice on a phone, and if you get into
Is that working any better?
Yeah.
Yeah, now that works better.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
you.
Well, I
For
call
what?
for Lady Amira. As a witch, you should be able to decide whether or not this one's telling the truth.
You work for a lady.
What's going on?
What?
I'm gonna walk up to the doorway. Who are you talking to?
Better run away.
There.
okay.
Oh, hi.
Gooney, make sure that you can move that.
Yep, I can.
Updated. Okay.
So I see this person come stand before me.
Yes. Amira, what do you see? Or Amira, what does Mason see when you step out? How is Amira dressed? What does she look like?
I changed my character to a Christmas character because it was Christmas.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and describe her. How does she look? What's she wearing?
He is wearing boots, black pants, and a white button-up. Witch hat, because you cannot forget the witch hat.
Okay. All right. And Theolis is decked out in armor of some kind and has some weapons on him and looks like a typical fighter. And there's a halfling over there underneath the table in the room that is just remaining silent for the time being.
Okay. So Mason just takes another draw on the pipe and then turns it upside down and knocks it against the stone a little bit to knock out the ashes. Yeah. Should I address you as Your Highness, Your Majesty, Your Awesomeness? What?
Well, I like the last one.
Are you like Your Awesomeness of around here or somewhere else?
I'm trying to be the awesomeness around here, but for some reason, there's a mayor who's like just in my way. We'll kill him later. It's all
And
on the plan.
a wounded bugbear sticks its head out of the door above Amy's head and looks at Mason and says, "You have the honor of addressing Empress Amy of the realm. I am King Clog in absentia." Oh my God, that word hurt my head. Oh, in absentia of Cragmore Castle. We are here to take what belongs to us. And Glassstaff over there, he just sort of shakes his head and is like, "Oh, you damned fools."
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not the one tied up.
So, what did they do? Not pay their taxes on time? And she kind of indicates the tied up one.
We can charge taxes.
Oh, me and my big mouth. Yeah, you can charge taxes.
It's definitely in the plans now.
That one has been terrorizing the businesses of this fine town with his red-cloaked, brown-pantsed hooligans.
Well, you know what they say about people that wear brown pants.
Oh, Empress Amy, I like this one. She's funny.
Well, at least someone thinks I'm funny. So, So what brings you to this part of the neighborhood other than trouncing that asshole? And she pokes her thumb at the tied up guy. Other than taking over. I mean, seriously, what brought you to here?
The tower or this castle? Because I heard there was like a slime in this castle and I want it.
Oh. I could show you right where the slime is. It ate one of the guards earlier.
He
dropped
did?
right on his hip.
I missed it.
Well, go up the stairs, go back out to where the drawbridge or that little bridgey thing is, and before you cross it, look south. It's either going to be on the ceiling or the floor at the moment, so I saw it like
earlier.
Well, it was hungry again, apparently, because it ate the guy that was running away.
I wonder how Yarno tastes. The slime would like that. As I look at Yarno menacingly.
As long as I don't have to feed it, I don't care.
And the glass half will be, no, please, no.
Well, aren't you a pretty little thing?
Don't feed me to the thing. It's a monster.
Like you?
That's my child you're talking about right now.
And Yarno has this really strange expression come over his face. And he sort of looks at Theolis and Sildar and Barker and Alpon as if maybe they could explain that, but unless Theolis has an explanation, the others, they just sort of shrug their shoulders. Like, I don't know.
Too funny. You should take that on the road. Be a hell of a lot. Oh, the jokester over there, Mr. Crappy Pants.
And he's like, I'll tell you what you want to know. Just let me get away from the black spider.
Do I know anything about this black spider? Have I heard of anything like it?
Make an intelligence check.
Yeah. Intelligence. I must fight. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. No,
you haven't.
Okay.
You haven't. And Clark will actually chuckle. Oh yes, you worked for the Black Spider too. I always knew that he was weaker than he made us think. And clearly you have an entire hideout full of pathetic worms here with you. And we just walked in and took it from you. Once we have Cragmore Castle, we will hunt down the Black Spider, and we will do the same to him. Unfortunately, I don't much think the Empress likes you, so you may not be around to witness our victory.
Well, now, ain't that special? So, you hiring?
Depends. How do you feel about world domination?
Hey, I'm game as long as the paycheck keeps coming.
This one.
Whoa. Very well. What shall we call you, milady? He says to Mason.
Oh, you can call me Mason.
Well, Lady Mason. All right.
No. Not lady. Ain't no lady in front of my name. Just Mason. Don't be calling me no lady.
Well, Mason, then I think if the Empress will accede to my initial thoughts, I think that Mason might feel the role of being the security consultant for the crown at Cragmore Castle.
I could get behind that. Yep.
Very well. Consider yourself the chief architect of our security systems once we retake the castle. We will put you in charge of determining where the traps should be and how deep they should be constructed and how lethal they should be. Which ones do we want to simply hold prisoners until we can deal with them? Which ones do we want to kill them slowly? And which ones do we want to just smash them to bits so that it serves as an example for anyone else that tries to break in?
Meanwhile, Mason's eyebrow, even though you probably can't see it behind something that looks kind of like goggles a little bit over her eyes, she kind of just raises an eyebrow a little bit more with each, killing, maiming, murdering, torturing.
Baby. This is baby.
And then he says, Sir Theolis and Empress Amy, what shall we do with the other brown pants? They're tied up in the office over there.
I'd say we disband them.
Oh, they're no fun. Unless our death.
Well,
murder.
I don't know. Do you want to try to charm them? Or do you want to put them on the payroll then?
No, we can't just murder them.
No, not murder them. I said disband. Disband means you fire them.
I heard fire. I heard disfire, misfire, as in shoot them, but okay.
All right. And I think we'll go ahead and we will wrap up with the disposition of all of that next week because we are at time. Before next session, we will be into a new year. So for the viewers, those on the stream, I want to wish everybody a happy new year. And
Obligatory dad joke. See you guys next year.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, we'll see you all next year. And players, I will go ahead and try to calculate up the experience that you gained from this. And the one last thing I will do before we leave is I will say that Amy, you will discover that when you pick up that staff, you can immediately tell it's magical, but you also can tell that either you're going to have to ask Yarno about the staff, or you're going to have to take some time to study it before you know exactly what it does. So
there's a reason I haven't just fed him to my slime yet, even though I really want to for revenge.
Okay, so that's one or two things that you can decide what to do, and then eventually, by the time you're doing all this questioning, the rest of the web's dissipate. We'll just say that. Okay, so there's a couple more areas that you guys can explore in here, figure out what to do. We will determine all of that next week. And players, Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you for joining us. And also for the players, anything coming up with you between now and next Saturday that you want the viewers to be aware of? Any other games or anything that you're involved in?
Come watch his game tomorrow.
Okay. Yes.
Watch the insanity ensue.
Yes, on this same Twitch channel tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we're doing our Planeswalking 5th edition game that Gooney is also a player in, and they are exploring the realms of Magic the Gathering, and right now they are in Kamigawa. They just had a big fight last session, and they met some rather unusual messengers, guardians, if you will, of the realm, that gave them a quest. And so now they are about
go. A questing we will go.
They're about to set off through the Junkai Forest on that quest. So if you enjoy Magic the Gathering and enjoy D&D, come hang out with us tomorrow afternoon and check out that game. All right, and for everybody else, take care.
Bye,
be
everybody.
well. And Happy New Year, everyone.
Yay!
Yep. Good night.